glowing-eyed river monsters in Brazil, humanoid figures stalking the forests of Yosemite, creatures bold enough to step straight into people's homes. Some are small, bizarre, almost playful. Others are massive, terrifying, and completely alien. Shadowy shapes, glowing eyes, things that look back at the camera, and things that might be pure AI. Hoaxes, myths, or brief accidental glimpses into a hidden world we barely understand? Watch closely. Decide for yourself. After this, you might not trust your own eyes the same way again. A massive black bird, darker than the night behind it, lands right in front of a group of unsuspecting tourists. Its eyes glow red with an almost hypnotic intensity, staring straight into the soul of anyone who dares to look back. The tourists freeze, then a scream breaks the calm. They have no idea what they are looking at. Some immediately say it has to be AI, a digital creation rendered with terrifying realism. But others feel something different. They whisper about an omen, a messenger tied to Santa Muerte, a warning that should not be ignored. The bird barely moves. It just stands there, perfectly still, as if it knows it is being watched. Its presence turns a normal sightseeing moment into something that brushes against the supernatural. Every small motion, every slow blink of those red eyes leaves a lingering unease. So what are we really seeing here? An unexplainable phenomenon or the perfect illusion of the digital age? Look at this. Not unsettling because of where it happens, but because of what they're trying to hold inside. Two men and a woman are pressed against a metal cage, struggling to keep it shut. Inside, something moves that no one can easily explain. The creature looks humanoid, completely bald, thin, fragile body, a face frozen in pure terror. Its expression is wrong, sunken, almost lifeless, but its eyes glow as it shifts, desperate to escape. Every time it moves, the cage rattles and the tension spikes. It doesn't look like an animal. It doesn't behave like one either. It reacts, it panics, it stares straight at the people holding it back. The scene feels chaotic and raw, like we are watching something that was never meant to be recorded. No explanation, no backstory, just three people trying to contain something they clearly do not understand. Is it an unknown species, a rare being, or something that was never meant to be captured at all? Captured in Johannesburg, South Africa, a CCTV camera records something you never want to see approaching your house. A strange, pale figure creeps into frame, moving low to the ground, almost crouched. Its skin is hairless, its body thin, and the way it moves has an unnatural agility that instantly puts you on edge. It edges closer to the house, pausing as if it knows it is being watched. Then it tries to approach the entrance like it fully intends to come inside. Every movement feels deliberate, calculated, as if the house, the yard, everything in front of it already belongs to this thing. In South African folklore, beings like this are called tokoloshe, small, mischievous, and often malevolent spirits said to torment or harm humans. Watching this clip, it is hard to brush off as a simple trick. The weight of its steps, the timing, the way it reacts to its surroundings, all feel uncomfortably real. And as the creature crouches at the doorstep, staring toward the home, one question is impossible to avoid. If something like this appeared outside your house, peering into your space, what would you do? Run, hide, or risk facing it head on? This is where legend and reality seem to touch, leaving chills that stay long after the video ends. In the early hours of the morning, while the city of Amarillo sleeps, something strange appears on a security camera. At exactly 1:25 a.m. on May 21st, a perimeter camera at the Amarillo Zoo captures a figure that immediately raises questions. It isn't an animal, it isn't a person, and no one can clearly explain what it is. Until proven otherwise, officials give it a name, the unidentified Amarillo object. The figure stands just inside the fenced area. Its outline is unfamiliar, its presence brief but deeply unsettling. No signs of a break-in, no damaged fence, no injured animals, no crime. Just a single, bizarre image. Even the city itself invited the public to help figure it out. Was it someone in a costume? A strangely distorted animal caught at the perfect angle? Or something that simply wandered into view, stared for a moment, and slipped away before anyone ever knew it was there? A fisherman is casually recording himself inside his small boat when everything explodes into chaos. Something is thrashing violently across the deck. Not a fish, not anything he's ever seen. It looks like a mermaid. A long tail slams against the wood again and again, the creature twisting and fighting with desperate strength, trying to hurl itself back into the water. The fisherman screams in pure panic, his voice cracking as he struggles to stay on his feet. The camera shakes, briefly catching her face, and is nothing like the stories. No beauty, beauty, no charm, just a dark, twisted, almost predatory expression. Her features are harsh, unnerving, more monster than myth. The air feels thick with fear and confusion as the creature claws and twists, driven by one instinct: get back to the river. This doesn't feel calm or staged. It feels frantic, messy, terrifyingly real. Was this a freak accident, a creature dragged up from a place humans were never meant to disturb, or proof that some legends were never meant to stay legends? In the dark of Yosemite National Park, a security camera picks up something that looks impossible. Two pale figures move across the frame, thin, elongated, gliding more than walking, with slow, deliberate steps that don't look human at all. Local legend calls them night crawlers. According to some California natives, they are demigod creatures that lived in Yosemite long before humans ever arrived. Beings that have always been here, hidden deep in the forest, almost never seen. In this footage, their bodies look humanoid, but stretched and wrong, like walking pieces of cloth with no clear torso. They drift silently over the ground, the faint glow of the camera barely outlining their shapes, making the whole scene feel like watching a nightmare in real time. Are they descendants of some forgotten species? Spirits tied to the land? Or something much stranger, surviving quietly at the edge of what we can perceive? One thing is clear: even in a world full of cameras and technology, the ancient and unexplained have not gone anywhere. This clip was filmed in a forest, right beside a parked car, a place that should feel safe. Instead, the camera catches something walking slowly toward the person recording. The figure is human-sized, but its body looks like it's made of wooden sticks and twisted branches, as if the forest itself had decided to stand up and move. From its head, long antler-like horns rise into the air, giving it the look of something old and dangerous. Many who see the clip say the same word: Wendigo. In folklore, a Wendigo is a creature of the wilderness, often described as tall, skeletal, crowned with antlers, tied to deep forests, isolation, and an endless, terrifying hunger. It is said to appear near humans, watching them, testing them, sometimes luring them in, sometimes just staring. What makes this footage so disturbing is how calmly the figure walks forward, like it already knows it has been seen. It doesn't run, it doesn't hide, it just approaches slowly. Legend brought to life? A costume? Something else entirely? Whatever it is, the encounter leaves one chilling question. If stories like the Wendigo exist for a reason, what happens the day one truly steps out of the forest and into our world? Let's go to the quiet lakes of Oregon, a place already known for strange sounds echoing through the forest at night. In the footage, a massive figure, very clearly Bigfoot-like, walks slowly along the edge of the lake. Its steps are heavy but controlled, like it knows every inch of that terrain. Then it stops. The creature turns its head, reacting to something we can't hear. A second later, it unleashes a scream, not a roar of pain, not fear. A long, powerful, deliberate scream. It sounds like a signal, like an announcement. I'm here. For years, locals in Oregon have reported unexplained nighttime sounds, deep calls, distant howls, noises that don't match any known animal. This clip makes those stories feel uncomfortably real. Was this creature answering something else in the woods, or calling others like it? If this one isn't alone, do you believe more of them are standing just beyond the trees, watching from the dark? In this next clip, someone points a flashlight toward the back of a house, and that's when things get strange. Caught in the beam is an animal no one can easily name. Its face looks like a deer's, long and unsettling, but the rest of its body doesn't match. It has the proportions of a child mixed with the frame of a small horse, like two different creatures stitched into one. The light hits its eyes, and they flare bright, glowing in a way that turns the moment into pure fear. The creature freezes, tense and rigid, as if it suddenly realizes it's been seen. Its posture is off, wrong, almost like it doesn't fully understand how to stand there. This isn't a security camera. It is a real-time reaction. Someone shining a light and finding something they never expected to see. No talking, no explanation, just silence and heavy breathing behind the camera. So now it is your turn. How would you describe this thing? What words do you use for something that doesn't fit any animal you know? Because whatever it was close. Look at this, that has been quietly making its way around the internet, unsettling everyone who lingers on it for more than a second. Captured in North Carolina and first shared on Reddit, the photo shows what many think could be Bigfoot or something even worse. The creature is seen from behind, its body covered in thick, dark fur. It is hunched low, like it is trying to stay hidden. It stands almost on its toes, with a posture that looks completely unnatural. Its joints bend like hinges, more like a wolf's legs than a human's. The way its limbs angle toward the ground doesn't look human at all, yet it is clearly walking upright. That is what makes this image so disturbing. It feels like the camera caught something it was never meant to see, a fraction of a second before it slipped back into the trees. Some viewers swear it is a dogman, a creature rumored in rural parts of the United States for years. Others insist it has to be a hoax, but realism, posture, anatomy, all of it raises uncomfortable questions. If it is fake, it is incredibly well done. And if it is real, how long has something like this been walking those woods completely unnoticed? This surveillance footage goes all the way back to 1973, recorded by a homeowner who was desperate for answers. 3 weeks earlier, while chopping firewood, he claims a Sasquatch slammed into him out of nowhere, tackling him so hard it left him with 2 broken ribs. Police wrote it off as nonsense, so he did the only thing he could think of. He installed cameras around his property. In this clip, the creature doesn't just lurk in the trees. It walks right into his space. You can see it moving around the property, and at one point, it leans over the pool and splashes water onto its face, as casually as a tired person washing up after a long day. No rush, no panic, just a massive, hair-covered being moving like it owns the place. The footage was first published online about 14 years ago, and when combined with the homeowner's original testimony, many believe this is not AI, not a modern edit, not a prank, but a real encounter. Its calm, deliberate movements feel almost human, and that is exactly what makes it so disturbing. It is close enough to relate to, and yet completely wrong. A rare glimpse of something most people still call a myth. So the question becomes very real. Could a creature like this really be walking among us, sometimes getting close enough to step inside our homes before disappearing back into the dark? 3 friends head deep into the forest, chasing something they can't quite name. The creature stays just ahead of them, never fully seen, never fully gone. It steps into view for a moment, then slips back behind the trees, as if it's leading them on purpose, not running, not fleeing, taunting. Shadows stretch over the trunks as they follow, hearts pounding. Every rustle, every snapped twig feels louder than it should. At some point, it stops feeling like they are searching for something, and starts feeling like something is playing with them. Their nervous laughter slowly turns into shaky breathing. The creature appears, disappears, always at the edge of the flashlight beam, always far enough to stay safe and close enough to keep them terrified. By the time the footage ends, one thing is clear. Whatever is out there knows the forest better than they ever will. In this new footage from Brazil's River Bain, a place already infamous for strange sightings, something impossible moves through the water. A long, dark creature glides along the surface, cutting through the current with smooth, powerful motion. It doesn't thrash, it doesn't panic. It moves like it knows exactly where it's going and that it's being watched. Then, just as the boat gets closer, it slips beneath the surface and disappears, leaving only ripples behind. Witnesses describe it as a water horse, a serpentine body with a head that doesn't match any known animal in the region. The River Bain has been a hotspot for unexplained phenomena for generations, but this may be the clearest recording so far. A new species, a relic from a forgotten age, or a living cryptid locals have whispered about for decades? Its appearance is brief, almost teasing, there for a moment, gone before your brain can fully process what you saw. Wait, a security camera picks up something both incredible and deeply unnerving. Deep in a swamp, a small creature stands upright, not on 4 legs, on 2. Its posture is eerily human, its limbs moving with slow, careful precision. But its skin is green, slick, and amphibian, blending almost perfectly with the muddy water and reeds. Its face is obscured, turned just enough that you can't see any clear features. That makes it worse. You don't know if it's looking at the camera, but you feel like it is. The creature doesn't run, it doesn't attack, it just stands there watching, composed, aware, as if it knows this is being recorded. Is this an undiscovered species, quietly living in places where humans almost never go? Or something entirely unknown, a reminder that our own planet still hides real mysteries in plain sight? Every second of the footage feels hard to dismiss. It looks tangible, alive, disturbingly real. A small being in the swamp that makes you question what else might be out there, standing upright in the dark, just beyond where our lights can reach. Now we run into something that feels ripped straight out of a horror movie. A black goat is standing upright on its hind legs, not jumping, not rearing, just walking. Its movements are unnervingly human as it approaches a small chicken, almost herding it toward a shed. The interaction is bizarre and deeply uncomfortable to watch. There's something calculated in the way the goat moves. It doesn't look confused or clumsy. It looks like it knows exactly what it's doing. The chicken hesitates, clearly unsure, while the goat keeps inching forward in this silent, almost sinister persuasion. Moments like this blur the line between reality and nightmare, forcing you to question what animals are truly capable of when we actually pay attention. In this clip, we follow an experienced adventurer and animal expert as he introduces a creature that looks like it shouldn't exist in our time at all, the caiman fish. At first glance, it looks prehistoric, a relic from an age when monsters ruled the water. Its body is thick and armored. Its jaws are packed with sharp, brutal teeth. Every detail of its appearance screams nightmare. But this is not a legend or a cryptid. This thing is real. The expert talks about it with a mix of awe and caution, reminding us that creatures like this are not fantasy. They glide through rivers and lakes in silence, hidden just below the surface, very much alive and very much dangerous. He explains its hunting instincts, its predatory power, the way it waits, watching before striking with terrifying speed. Hearing it described like that sends a chill down your spine, because it is one thing to hear stories about monsters. It is something very different to see one that actually exists in our world. Look, a person wading through a river holds something that should not exist. Resting in their hand is a tiny creature, small enough to fit in a single palm, but its appearance is completely alien. Its eyes are large and black, almost too expressive for such a small body. From its back extends a mermaid-like fin, delicate yet defined, while its skin has the dark, glossy sheen of a cockroach. From its head sprout thin, horn-like antennae that twitch gently, as if sensing everything around it. Every detail makes you question what you are looking at. Is this a known species no one ever talks about, or something entirely unknown, a miniature being that lives just beyond human understanding? The person holding it looks torn between fascination and unease, the same mix of emotions anyone feels watching the footage. Something so small, yet so bizarre, forces one last question. How many other tiny mysteries are hiding in our rivers and lakes right now, silently observing us, unseen and unrecorded? This is a final reminder that reality is stranger and far more unpredictable than we are ready to admit. Which sighting shook you the most? Do you think any of these creatures could actually be real? Tell me in the comments which one terrified you or fascinated you the most. If you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, like the video, subscribe for more chilling encounters, and share it with someone who dares to watch in the dark. And remember, keep your eyes open. You never know what might be watching, waiting, or moving just beyond the shadows.